The dawn of a new era for Malaysian palm oil has begun. Introducing MSPO Trace. MSPO Trace is a continuous certification monitoring IT platform towards creating a fully traceable and sustainable Malaysian palm oil developed by Malaysian Palm Oil Certification Council, MPOCC. Using the Oil Palm Management Certification and Supply Chain Certification standards, this platform will deliver the task of certifying Malaysian palm oil to the world. Let's look at MSPO Trace and how it works. Well, before that, what are the problems faced by our Malaysian palm oil and how are we being labeled? Deforestation, peat land planting, workers' exploitation, indigenous people rights violation, greenhouse gas emission, biodiversity and animal habitat loss, illegal land conversion and extension, and finally, lack of transparency. Malaysia is now being accused as a palm oil producing country without proper standards. These accusations and problems are the root cause for the declining reputation of the Malaysian palm oil industry in the eyes of the world. So how do we solve this? This is where the Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MSPO standard walks in. MSPO is divided into two categories: Oil Palm Management Certification, OPMC, and Supply Chain Certification Standard, SCCS. These standards come in to achieve its vision and deliver change where it matters most, on the ground. Three principles act as the backbone to the MSPO standards: sustainability, accountability, and traceability. So how do we implement this in the Malaysian palm oil industry? MSPO Trace has the answer. Stemming from the three backbone principles of OPMC and SCCS, a complete centralized system is developed to achieve the MSPO, thus integrating all the activities of Malaysian palm oil industry using big data management and data decision-making. This is the core concept of MSPO Trace. Let's look at how MSPO Trace works. 1. Master data governance. 2. Point-to-point data collection. 3. Auto data verification. 4. Certification process management. 5. Tracking palm oil supply chain. 6. On-time notification and reports. Now that we know MSPO Trace is the key to solve the problem of Malaysian palm oil industry by integrating sustainability and traceability using a centralized system, let's look at the uniqueness of MSPO Trace. Why MSPO Trace is an exceptional IT platform software ever for Malaysian palm oil industry. 1. Digital and real-time certification statistics update. 2. Displays complete traceability from product to plantation. 3. Seamless data update via cloud connectivity. 4. Protection of data and privacy of users. 5. Equipped with geolocation features. 6. Mergeability with Malaysian Palm Oil Board's eTrace application. We have seen the roots, the ground, the stem, the fronds, and finally, this is where MSPO Trace delivers to the vision to establish and operate a credible and internationally recognized national palm oil certification scheme towards promoting sustainable management of oil palm in Malaysia. MSPO Trace software is freely available for download at App Store and Play Store. Malaysian palm oil is used in various applications worldwide, such as food, feed, home, personal care products, and fuel. Being a wise consumer, we always ask ourselves these common questions. Where does the palm oil in my product come from? Is palm oil grown under good agricultural practices? Am I consuming certified palm products? Are there any deforestation or animal habitat violation along the process of making palm oil? And finally, how do I track and trace the palm oil right from its source to the product I'm about to use? Well, MSPO Trace has the solution. MSPO Trace is a platform designed and developed by Malaysian Palm Oil Certification Council to monitor the certification and traceability of Malaysian palm oil supply chain. This unique platform is divided into two categories. 1. Certification. Accredited certification bodies conduct annual audits on palm oil plantations and processing facilities to ensure entities operate under the Oil Palm Management Certification and Supply Chain Certification standards. MSPO Trace is able to display the certification information on each and every entity involved in supply chain with their precise respective geolocation. 2. Traceability. MSPO Trace is able to identify and indicate the history, distribution location, and application of palm products to ensure the reliability and sustainability claims in the areas of human rights, labor, health and safety, and the environment. Fresh palm fruit bunches harvested by smallholders, organized smallholders, estates, and dealers are transported to palm oil mills to be transformed into crude palm oil (CPO) and palm kernel (PK). Next in the supply chain, crude palm oil and palm kernels are sent to refineries and kernel crushers respectively. Products from refineries and crushers are then supplied to downstream processing facilities such as oleochemical and biodiesel plants for further conversion. Let's look at the features of traceability in MSPO Trace: processing facility profile creation, supplier and buyer database, sales announcements, transaction and records, graphical data analysis, and supply chain diagram. MSPO tracks every process and transaction taking place in the Malaysian palm oil industry, and it does not stop there. MSPO Trace is able to integrate local and international industry players as a part of the traceability system. MSPO Trace allows all palm product users around the world to verify the product certification and trace out the supply chain by just scanning the QR code via their mobile phones. This means a user in the UK will be able to view the whole supply chain of certified Malaysian palm product sources right up to a smallholder in Teluk Intan by simply scanning a QR code at the back of her cosmetic products. With the continuous participation of each stakeholder in Malaysian palm oil industry, MSPO Trace utilizes big data management and GPS to display the real-time and specific transaction at every stage of Malaysian palm oil supply chain. The system also provides data of each buyer and seller at multiple levels in the supply chain to make procurement decisions more transparent on where and whom are involved during each shipment. MSPO Trace is based on 3 core principles: accountability, sustainability, and traceability, is now ready towards promoting certified and traceable Malaysian palm oil to the world.
Okay. Is the sound? Mic test, mic test. All right. I think it should be okay. Um, Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for uh, participating in our second webinar. This is the second MPOCC webinar that we have been conducting, and today's webinar is specifically for sustainable supply chain certification standards certified entities. So, uh, I hope everyone is doing safe now and doing well. So what we will be doing today is we will be playing a pre-recorded video of both myself and Miss Nasiha. We will be both introducing a new scheme document which is called the Rules for Use of MSPO Trace, which are the requirements for certified supply chain entities to uh, do for the MSPO Trace traceability module. And after that will be followed by a demonstration on how to register, how to use the MSPO Trace. So please enjoy the video. Hello, welcome to MPOCC's second webinar. Today's webinar is on the MSPO Trace Traceability Module and the rules for use of MSPO Trace. Before we continue, my name is Cheah Chi Ern. I'm the manager for supply chain and traceability. And today we will be talking about the traceability module, which has been implemented since 1st September 2020. And a lot of questions has been coming up So we want to actually address them and to teach supply chain certification users how to use it. Plus, we want to introduce a relatively new document, which is the rules for use of MSPO Trace, which clarifies and lays out what are the requirements in the use of MSPO Trace. So actually, these two topics are interrelated. The rules of MSPO Trace will provide the steps or the requirements that is used for the traceability module. So for today, I will be talking about the rules document, and my colleague Ms. Naseha will later continue on with the demo on how to use the traceability module. So as all of you all know, the date of implementation for the MSPO SCCS certified entities is or was from 1st September 2020 onwards. So it has already passed, and we already announced it during our previous webinar. So we hope that all supply chain certified entities have already at least started some of the requirements that is required. So what should users do? What should supply chain users do by 1st September? First of all, it is compulsory to be registered as an MSPO Trace user and to log into the MSPO Trace account. If you are unable to register, please email your certification body and CC MPOCC, which is my colleague Naseha at mpocc.org.my. If you are unable to register, it means that your certification body has either not yet uploaded your information onto MSPO Trace, or there is an error in the information which needs to be corrected. So if you are unable to register, the first person that you should approach is to ask your CB. Registration is simple, of course. It involves keying in your certificate number. My colleague will explain more in the next presentation. As of today, 277 out of 649 users has successfully registered in the system. So that is slightly less than 50% of the total users. So there is actually a lot more catching up to do. What will happen if the users have yet to be registered? Uh, this will result in an NC by the CB. So you have to get registered and you have to do all the requirements by 1st September. Not doing it, you will get a non-conformity by the CB during your next supply chain certification audit. So as I mentioned before, what are the requirements so that you are in compliance with the traceability module or the requirements of the traceability module? It is all spelled out in this document, which was launched on 1st August, and the application date is on 1st September. So this is the rules for use of MSPO Trace. Again, this document is on our website, but we have also provided the link in the notification, the description of this session. So the introduction to this document is actually extension of the supply chain standards, because in requirement number 12 of the MSPO Trace Supply Chain Certification Standard, it requires certified entities to register its production and sales of MSPO certified products on an applicable IT platform. This IT platform actually is now called the MSPO Trace. So therefore, requirements of this document is actually referred to in the standard. Plus, as a scheme document, you would also have to comply with it in the upcoming audits. So in these rules, the traceability module is divided into two major users. Okay, so the first section of users is the palm oil millers, which is addressed under section 3 of the document, and the second major group users are the refineries, palm kernel crushers, oleochemical plants,
biodiesel plants and others, which are end manufacturing products, and maybe any others players that are compliant to the MSPO supply chain standards. So this is actually addressed under section 4 of the rules document. So why are there two sections? So for millers, there is actually slightly more steps to more requirements that you have to fulfill. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be registered as a user. You have to log in. You have to go into MSPO Trace and register as a user. Second is you need to update your suppliers and buyers list. Who you are buying from. Every estate you need to update, and every person that you're selling to, you also have to uh, key into the system. For the miller, the suppliers list will be the FFB dealers. So only when you key in uh, the suppliers, then only you will be able to register their FFB received. So for number 3, monthly FFB received must be declared. So whether it's uncertified or non-certified doesn't matter, but you have to declare uh, all the weight, all the volume of crop that you've received from each of your suppliers. So this must be uploaded before the 7th of the following month. For example, by the September 2020 data, so the data for September 2020 must be uploaded into the system before the 7th of October, which is the following month. How to do it will be showed by my colleague. So monthly production volume, number 4, monthly production volume of certified CPO and PK shall be reported before the 7th of the following month. So for millers, they will need to declare the FFB received from certified and non-certified entities, and the production of certified MSPO, CPO, and PK for each month. Additionally, if there is any sales of MSPO Trace, they will also have to do it through the sales declaration in the system. For the second category, which are refineries, palm kernel crushers, oleochemical plants, biodiesel plants, and other certified entities, it is less, but it's still important. They will have to, of course, register as a user. They will have to update their suppliers and buyers list, and they will have to make any MSPO sales announcements if they are dealing with uh, MSPO certified material. One of the questions you usually get is, do entities need to declare sales of non-certified MSPO products? So if you're not selling it as MSPO certified, you do not need to announce it in the system. Only announce sales involving MSPO certified when you want to declare the product as MSPO certified. So in summary, this is what everyone needs to do. The palm oil mills is on the first column. They will have to do 2 additional things from all the rest, and which is to declare the data before the 7th of each month, the FFB received list, and the production of CPO and PK. For everyone else, they will need to update the supplier and buyer information, as well as declare the MSPO sales transactions. In terms of the sales declarations, sellers must make MSPO sales announcements within 30 days of the transaction, which means that if they were to sell it today, within 30 days, they will have to key in the sales into MSPO Trace. So in terms of the duties that they will have to do for a seller would be to make the announcement with the received weight, means not the weight that was sent out, but the weight that was received, because usually in any transaction, it is the received weight that carries that goes into the final agreement. So the seller has to make announcement with the received weight. This could mean that it's most probably a few days after the actual sale. So that doesn't matter. They have 30 days, right? So then the certified buyer will then have to confirm the sales announcement in MSPO Trace. So all this is done within MSPO Trace. What will happen is the seller will make the announcement through MSPO Trace, and then a notification will come up for the buyer. The buyer will have to confirm the announcement in MSPO Trace as well. What will happen if a seller is selling certified material but it's going to a non-certified buyer? So MPOCC will then confirm the sales of the announcement, and the system will automatically email the sustainability declaration slip to the non-certified buyer to tell them that they have bought certified material, but they are the end of the supply chain. They cannot use it beyond that because they do not have the certification status. They are not certified. Besides that, sales announcements shall occur for every transaction. So every time there is a sales, you would have to declare every single transaction, uh, with the exception that the only transactions in the same contract that occurs within the same day can be announced together. So sales are made by contracts, right? And it could take a few days to fulfill the contracts, but our requirement is that only transactions within the same contract that occurs within the same day can be announced together. So if it's separated over a few days, you have to record the transaction over those few days because the date of the transaction is important. One of the important things that we have to highlight here is that in terms of the supply chain accounting system, this MSPO traceability module shall not be used as a substitute to the accounting system. The information for opening and closing stock within the system is only for reference. So why do we say this? Is because that the system automatically recognizes certified and non-certified material, but it is possible that a mill would be buying from MSPO certified source, but it is not an MSPO certified contract. Therefore, we are saying that the MSPO traceability module shall not be used as a substitute for the accounting system. You have to maintain the accounting system separately of the MSPO traceability module. So the MSPO traceability module is only for registration of buyers and sellers, declaration of your FFB received, and your production for the month. The accounting system in and out, the actual details and the volumes all has to be in your accounting system. So that will be all for my presentation. I will now pass the time to my colleague Ms. Nasiha to provide you a more detailed explanation on how to use the MSPO Trace system. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I am Nasiha Shahira binti Omar and I will guide the MSPO SCCS certified users on how to navigate through the system and briefly explain each processing facility's responsibility. As been mentioned by Mr. Cheah Chi Ern, starting from 1st September 2020, all MSPO SCCS certified processing facilities are required to start using the system. I will briefly demonstrate how to register your buyers and suppliers, how to upload your monthly FFB receiving list, how to report your certified MSPO, CPO, and PK production, and lastly, how to make MSPO sales announcement. So firstly, I will demonstrate how user should register their supplier and buyer information into the system. Please be informed if you have not yet to register all your supplier and your buyers, you may not be able to make sales announcement declaration, or you may not be able to do your monthly declaration for palm oil mill. So first step is after you've done updating your profile, if there's any information here you would like to you would like to update, you just key in update profile and then click save. And after you've done this, you go to the supplier and buyer details tab here and click supplier registration. Click this blue button here to register your supplier. Let's say if your supplier is certified, you can just key in the name of that supplier. For example, it's Palong Estate. Then information of that Palong Estate will come out like this. Just check the information, and if it's the correct supplier, then can just click add, and it will automatically be listed here in your supplier list. Importantly, please check the MPOB license number of the client and also its MSPO certificate number. Okay, let's say this is not the correct estate. You may just delete and it won't be listed in your list. So secondly, if you would like to register a non-certified supplier, click the green button here and then select the category of that supplier. If it's independent smallholder, organized smallholder, or a dealer. So let's say it's a dealer. Just key in all this information here. All information here is compulsory except for this GPS coordinate information. So it is not compulsory to key in this information, but if you have that information, it's advisable to key in the GPS coordinates lah. And because it's your non-certified supplier and that information will be hard to get, so we MPOCC actually advise all palm oil millers and all the especially palm oil millers to try and get this information. So maybe sooner, maybe later we're gonna make it compulsory because it's just the beginning of still in the beginning of the introduction of the system. We leave it non-compulsory first. Click save, and then it will be listed here. The same, you should do the same thing if you want to register your buyer. Click this blue button, and then if it's certified, once again key in the name of that buyer and then it will come out. So example, your buyer or your supplier is certified, but when you key in the name, it won't come it doesn't come out. That means there's two possibility of that. Yeah, one, the CB of that supplier or buyer is yet to report the entity into MSPO Trace system. So what you can do is you can email MPOCC, especially you can email MPOCC and address the email to nasiha@mpocc.org.my, and I will do the necessary and get the CB to report your entity into the system as soon as possible. So if you're having this problem, just email to Nasiha, and if you have the information of that buyer or supplier, you can just include all that information into your email to me lah. I will do the necessary to get that entity into the system. So secondly, as you guys know, only palm oil mill category is compulsory to do the monthly declaration here. So this monthly declaration, all you have to do is three things every month. One is you have to upload your FFB receiving list. This FFB receiving list is you can just download a template up here, and this template will come out. This template is basically from all the registered supplier that you have keyed in into the system. So all this information here in this box is auto-populated by the system. All you have to do is just key in this information here. And as been informed by Mr. Cheah, you have to announce all your FFP receiving list, whether it's certified or non-certified. This red box here means your FFP is not certified. The green color here means this FFP is certified. So just key in this information monthly before 7 of the coming month, and then upload it back here. Once you save that Excel file, you just upload and then click upload. This monthly certified CPO is also compulsory for you to key in, and you have to start reporting all this information for September 2020. Means the due for this reporting is before 7 of October. So it is okay. I mean, it is not compulsory, but if you would like to report all your data here, let's say since January or February, it's okay, you can do so. Just be informed that it is only compulsory to report your September data before 7 of October 2020. So all of this information you have key in will be coming out here. Okay, and please be informed, we did not put a edit or delete button here. So before you upload or key in any information, just be sure that the information is correct before you click upload and save. So if it happens that you have upload a wrong information, you can once again email nasiha@mpocc.org.my, and I will try to assist you where possible. So once you're done this monthly declaration, I would like to once again remind that this monthly declaration is compulsory for all palm oil millers only. Okay, and we are done with monthly declaration. I will now demonstrate how you do your announcement. So announcement declaration is only compulsory when you have MSPO product sales. So let's say you don't have any MSPO sales, so you don't have to do any announcement declaration. You just needed to do the monthly declaration and supplier buyer registration. So let's say you have a sale, MSPO sale. This buyer here is actually based on the buyer you have registered. Your first step there. So let's say you have registered your buyer here, Dabu Bar Food and Beverage. You click in. All this information is also based on this registered information you've key in earlier. So select the product, CPO, says MB. Okay, this SCCS model is also based on your certificate. Let's say during your audit, you choose to do MB, so it will only come out MB. So let's say you do MB and SG. Here you can choose whether it's MB or SG. Okay, so key in the information of the product. Let's say it's 100 metric ton of CPO. These transportation details you should put. If it's from it's a CPO to a refinery, then it's by tanker. Just keep in tanker. Delivery period is the date that delivery done. So let's say on 31st of August. I know it's holiday, but let's say on 31st of August, you have a delivery. So key in 31st August 2020, and delivery order number is following your contract. Your contract between you and your buyer, just key in whatever delivery order number or your contract number and key in into here. Then BL number is actually for the shipment. Yeah, if you have an overseas buyer and it is through shipment, or also if you have a local seller and buyer but through that small ship, so you can put in BL number. Yeah, and port of loading is if it's through shipment where actually your port of loading lah, and port of discharging is your buyer's port. And then click confirm announcement. The announcement will be then listed here. Announcement history. So once you've made this announcement, you are waiting for your buyer to accept or to reject the announcement, then only you can print this slip. So this is not final substantiation because this wording here will come out where if you are printing a slip where your buyer is yet to accept the announcement. So this will be the list, and okay, this is actually based on the Excel sheet you have uploaded before. You can get a report, you can export it as PDF and all that. So I would like to once again inform that this MSPO sale announcement history is compulsory to be made starting 1st September 2020. If you have any MSPO sales before 1st September 2020 and you would like to make that announcement into the system, it is MPOCC, it is advisable to do so because you may have your own all MSPO sales record in your system. That is actually our intention with this system. So it is only compulsory to do announcement for all sales that happen after 1st September 2020, but it is also advisable to key in all MSPO sales that happened before 1st September 2020. Okay, I would like to explain again that for the sales announcement, let's say for a period of, let's say, for one day, you actually have more than one delivery to a same company under the same contract number, then you are actually will be allowed to make one announcement with total volume delivered for that contract for the day. So let's say for 31st August you have 5 delivery under the same contract to one refinery, and that total 5 delivery is actually 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. So altogether is 150 metric ton. You can just key in 150 metric ton and give the date for that day. For contract number should be the same. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, that was the pre-recorded video for the MSPO Trace rules as well as the demo. There were after the recording, we did find that there was some issues that we missed out. So I will now pass this time back to Shira to uh, give some additional points. So Shira,
Yes. Yeah.
yep, you can take over your life.
Okay, hi everyone. I would like to once again, no, not once again, I have forgotten to mention about product conversion. So I would like to demo how to do product conversion. Product conversion is only available in a refinery screen. So in refinery screen on your left tab here, there's a product conversion tab. And if you click stock and product conversion, you will be able to see all the products that actually able to transact. So let's say I have received few cases where this one entities actually having more than one scope, meaning it is a palm oil mill, and also is also a palm kernel crusher. So if it's more than one um, scope, you can if it's more than one scope, and then the product that you would like to transact is not available in your screen, you can email to MPOCC, and we will add uh, uh, the, the the product into your screen. So this product is actually based this the ratio, the conversion ratio of all product is actually based on the standard conversion factor. So let's say you have you are actually converting the product with a ratio different than the general ratio, then you can modify the ratio here, and then you can enter your new ratio, click save, and then that new product ratio will come out in your list. So but in order for you to modify your ratio, you have to first click modify. Yeah, when you put convert and then you click modify ratio, all this information, once you click save, the the system will send a request automatically to MPOCC. MPOCC then will confirm or reject the modification request, and all the requests for modification will be listed here. So let's say MPOCC had already approved, then automatically the product conversion factor will be listed in your stock and product conversion tab here. So this other tab is the history of product conversion. Importantly, I would like to inform that if in your screen you have more product to be transact but it's not listed, just email to MPOCC, and MPOCC will enable the information into it will list the product in your screen. I think that's all, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shira. All right. Okay. So, give me a moment.
Um,
Okay. Oh, yeah, salah. Okay, so thank you once again, Shira, for adding the conversion ratio part. For for the okay, this will be the end of our webinar. For a few announcements to make. If you have any questions regarding today's webinar or MSPO Trace in general, you can send your questions to webinar mpocc.org.mine. This email goes to the whole supply chain team, and there is a higher chance for us to respond if you send the webinar. So besides that, we do get a lot of questions from the industry, from yourself. So what we want to do is actually to help you all out because of the situation we are in now. So there is very little chance for us to actually do a physical roadshow. So what we are trying to do is to do an online workshop. The first workshop will be on 1st October next week at 10 a.m. So to register, there is the link on the screen, as well as in the notification below this video. So I would, before you go and register, I would just like to mention that this will be a step-by-step guide to use the MSPO Trace Traceability Module. It will be limited to the first 20 packs that register, and it is on first come first serve basis. If you are the 21st person or so on and you're not able to register, please email webinar at MPOCC to express your interest. Then we will gather the next batch of 20 packs or so to do the second one. We cannot have the packs to be so large because it'll be very hard for interaction. So the presentation, my presentation itself, the PDF is the link is also in the description, and as well as the rules for use of MSPO Trace, the document is also in the video's description. All this information is on our website. You can visit it at mpocc.org.my. So I would just like to highlight again this online workshop. If you are already quite advanced in terms of the using of MSPO Trace, you have registered, but you're having slight issues in terms of registering your users and so on, please do not sign up for this workshop. This workshop will be more so for those who have not started anything yet. If you have specific questions, please use the email. We will get back to you as soon as possible. And this is only for those who are really starting their process. So that's all. Yeah, so thank you again, once again, for attending our webinar, and stay safe. Take care.